This is IFV, the web space with your dose of business and financial news. In full view, we're making your business our business.
Welcome to In Full View. I'm Marcella Palmer. We're bringing you the week's medium and small business news from the very first BrandsConf. This day-long conference, being held at the 92nd Street Y in New York City, is exploring the humanization of brands. BrandsConf is the creation of internet entrepreneur Jeff Pulver, who is chairman and founder of Pulver.com, a pioneer of the voice-over internet protocol industry and a leader in the emerging TV on net industry.
So many people are hyped up about social media. The reality is social media could be a very passing trend, and while it's cool to be there when it's trendy, when trendy things become cold, nobody wants to be associated with it anymore. But fundamentally and systemically, what's changed is the way people do businesses with corporations, the way corporations communicate with customers, and the way they communicate in their ecosystem. And the foundation of this conference, BrandsConf, at the heart of it is we're looking at that one fundamental shift, and that's in 2010, like it or not, brands became more human. That we're in a situation right now in time where if you want to be competitive, you have to deal with where your customers are. So you have to listen, which means typically you have to hire somebody if you're not going to be listening yourself, and which opens up all issues from best practices to legality to engagement to a personal brand versus corporate brand, to the whole idea of being authentic and real, and where's it all going? And so I had this silly idea to do a conference focused just on the humanization, and I had that idea in early October, and in early December the event happened, and it's brought together people from across the world.
Marketplace clutter. Every day, all day, most consumers are bombarded with a barrage of similar products at similar price points, all similarly simple to get. Companies have to work differently to create, develop, and maintain true customer loyalty. Dealmaker, author, and business strategist Carol Roth says some companies are failing to create that loyalty. She tells us what she believes they should be doing.
You've coined the term loyalty 3.0. What exactly does that mean?
All right, so if we talk about the problems with loyalties, we were talking just a second ago about rewarding the spenders, if you will, the people who are spending money with you. But that misses a whole sort of segment of very important customers, the people who influence other people. So maybe they're not directly responsible for dollar purchases. They may actually not buy anything from you, but they influence other people to buy from you. And they may advocate for you. They may volunteer for you. So we call those people the senders. So you want to do the senders and the spenders. They're very important. So if you think of the first generation loyalty, back to the card again, the 1 point per dollar, if you will, that's really rewarding the spenders. 2.0 was social media. We said, okay, we really recognize that there are these influencers out there, and we have to reward them too. But what did everybody do? They approached that in the exact same way. We're going to throw swag at you. We're going to give you hats and t-shirts, and that's going to create loyalty. Well, no, it still doesn't create loyalty at the end of the day, right? So 3.0 is not just identifying the senders and the spenders, but it's really engaging them and finding out what's important to them and really growing that relationship. And at the end of the day, your customers are people. You have to care about them. If you don't care about them, you're not going to create loyalty for them.
You just talked about brands. Brands, that's what you do. And that's what's brought you here today as well, up on stage giving us your expertise. Is there a nugget of information in what you said and within your body of knowledge that you want people to walk away with?
Yes. It's not about you. It's about your customers. So many people are, I'm so bored. I don't have a passion for this. I want to fulfill me. No, business is about your customers. If you want to do something you enjoy, get a hobby. Maybe get a job, but don't start a business. If you're going to be in business, you have to be focused on serving the customers. And where you're really going to succeed is if you find a customer pain point or opportunity and you identify that and you say, this customer is going to be important to me, and oh, by the way, I'm the best person to help service this need because I bring this unique advantage to the table. When you intersect those, then everything works really well, but you really need to focus on the customers. We have too many choices. We have too many products that we want and we need, a bunch that we don't care about either, and to cut through the noise and to get customers to care about about you, you have to care about them first. Yeah.
Do you have a defining moment from childhood? Do you have somebody who you looked up to who set you on the course that you are on today?
You know, it's funny, Marcella. I always tell people that I am the white sheep in the family of black sheep. Everyone in my family just doesn't care. Neither of my parents went to college. They were totally relaxed about school, education, everything. My sister's in a rock band. And for some reason, I came out of the womb driven, and I've always been really competitive. And then I think because I was my father's only son, and that he got me into sports, and I was following boxing and NFL and all these things at the young age, I had this crazy sort of competitive, but in a fun way, drive. And then just kind of grew into this commitment to excellence. So I just credit it for being different from the entire family of black sheep, if you will. I had done well enough to get accepted to Wharton undergrad at University of Pennsylvania. And it was really funny because, as I said, my parents really weren't well off. So my dad's initial reaction, I said, Dad, I got accepted to Wharton. And he said, that's great. What's Whartman, and do they take food stamps? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that they don't. And I was just determined. I knew that if I invested in going there, even with the crazy amount of loans that I had, that there would be a payoff at the end of the day. And I think that really set me on the track. It set me into investment banking, working with companies, business strategy, and then on through to what I've been doing today.
And tell us a little bit about where you are today.
All right, so I've got a lot of things going on. So one side of my business is Intercap Merchant Partners. We are a merchant banking firm, and we do everything from capital raising to mergers and acquisitions, joint ventures, licensing, partnership, and customer enthusiast program design. And that's the part that pays. And in the meantime, the part that sucks up the money is a platform that I'm building around entrepreneurship called CarolRoth.com. Very, very clever. And as an advocate for small business and entrepreneurs, I really have a contrarian view. I like to cut right through the BS because I think if we identify the problems, we can solve them. And since 90% of businesses fail, obviously whatever success tips everyone else is giving aren't working. So we need to come at it from a different angle. And that's really what my brand is about. It's about being authentic and helping people so that they can succeed. And it may be, this isn't meant for you, or it may be tweaking your business model, whatever it is. So I have a website, I have a book coming out, and I actually just signed a deal to develop my own television show based around my life as a business personality and expert. My very short, almost 300-page book is called The Entrepreneur Equation. It's coming out March 8th, and it's really, really exciting. Now, most of the things that I do from being pissed off about something. So this came about being frustrated about entrepreneurship, and how can we give people a screening process? Because every other high-risk, high-reward career has some kind of a screen. If you want to be a doctor, you have to go through all these hoops. If you want to be a lawyer, a fireman, whatever it is. Entrepreneurship, if you've got a few dollars together, hey, throw them in, you can be an entrepreneur. And that ends up in creating this 90% failure rate because people aren't prepared. So what the Entrepreneur Equation does is it creates a framework for you to really assess the risks and rewards of business ownership, whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or perhaps you have a business that isn't really working and you need to retweak it. And it's really important because I'm not trying to shove 10 secrets to success down your throat. It doesn't work. Everybody's personal circumstances, goals, and objectives are different. So I wanted to create a framework where you could bring in your own personal goals and what it is that you have going on in your life and be able to use this framework regardless of where you are.
That's all for this week from the IFV News team. Thanks for joining us from BrandsConf at the 92nd Street Y in New York City. Be sure to check back every day right here at ifvnews.com for the latest on what's happening around the globe in the medium and small business world.